Today we're going to look at buy this, not that, cars under $10,000. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Wizard's Desert Oasis. We're in sunny Las Cruces, New Mexico, and I want to do a video for you guys today of 5 cars you should buy and 5 cars you should not buy that are under $10,000. We're also not going to include Lexus and Toyota. Some of the things you guys already know. We're going to look at some other cars that you should and should not buy. And before we get started and dive in Las Cruces, or in the Las Cruces area, we're actually looking for a building to rent to move our shop down here. And yes, a lot of people think we're retiring, we're closing for good. We're not. We are moving and semi-retiring. We will continue to be open and still do YouTube for you guys. So let's dive into the cars you should and should not buy. We're going to go by segments. We're going to do vans, SUVs, things of that nature. So we're going to start off with small SUVs, which are going to be one that you should buy, 2001 to 2007 Ford Escape. These cars are everywhere, and they're still on the road. I know a lot of people that have actually owned these that brought it to the shop. They say, I probably should have traded this thing off a long time ago, but it just won't break. It just keeps going. These are very reliable. Whether you get the V6 or the 4-cylinder, I recommend the 4-cylinder. It's really up to you. They also have a hybrid, which is also reliable. And there were hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of these things made all over the world. There are parts plentiful everywhere. Very, very easy to work on. And they look decent as well. Make sure to check service records and get a pre-purchase inspection on anything you're looking to buy before you buy it. But we definitely recommend the 01 to 07 Ford Escape for a small SUV. In this category, one not to buy is 2007 to 2014 Jeep Patriot. These things are the opposite of reliable. They are terrible. They are not good. A lot of people find these for sale and they're like, I got a great deal on these. No, you didn't. You didn't get a good deal, I promise. They have CVT transmission failures left and right, Jatco style transmission, same that Nissan had for the longest time. And there's probably a 60 to 70% chance you are going to get bit by that. And it's going to cost $4,000 to $6,000 to repair it. And that's what the whole vehicle is worth. These have a 4-cylinder engine. They're very noisy. They make a lot of noise. They're loud, especially on acceleration. But the engines are just not good engines. They don't get good miles per gallon. You would think a small little vehicle would, but they actually don't. And a lot of them we've had into the shop for repairs. They've never been well maintained. Most people that own these vehicles, they pretty much let everything go. So if you're looking to buy one, you say, this one's in great shape. It probably isn't if you really dig deep and start taking a look. We definitely don't recommend those year ranges of the Jeep Patriot. Now, I did just buy a Jeep Wrangler. Those don't have those kind of problems as the Patriots do. The Wrangler is not Toyota reliable, but they're actually fairly reliable, and I'm a mechanic. I can fix my own problems and issues with the cars. You got to keep that in mind as well. Let's move on to the next category. Now we're going to talk about minivans. If you're in the market for a minivan, whether it be for hauling your family around or even doing a small business out of your van, here's a van that you definitely should buy. 2001 to 2007 Dodge Caravan. Most of you already know about these vehicles. They are literally millions and millions of them on the road. They're everywhere. These are 300,000 to 500,000 mile vehicles. They can have some transmission issues here or there, but it's not like 50% of them fail. It's not bad like that. But the engines, the 3.3 or 3.8 V6, are bulletproof. They are very, very good engines. I've worked on a lot of these, like I mentioned, that have 300,000 and 400,000 miles on them, and they're still going. Parts are plentiful. Any mechanic shop is going to work on them. They're just your regular run-of-the-mill Dodge Chrysler product from the early 2000s. There's nothing fancy or special about them. They just go and go and go. Keep in mind, all these vehicles I'm listing for you guys are under 10,000. A lot of them are going to run 3,000 to 6,000 or 7,000 range. That's pretty much what I'm talking about. Now let's move on to a minivan you should not buy. 1999 to 2004 Honda Odyssey van. I don't care what kind of deal you got on it. Run away. Do not buy these. Honda's not known for making junk, But in this little time frame of 99 to 04 with the Odyssey vans, they literally made junk. They have massive transmission failures. They have engine issues. They have sliding door issues. Every single one I've ever worked on has transmission troubles, and the sliding door or the power sliding doors are broken. It's a very, very serious problem. You can pick these up again, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 range, but be prepared to spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 sorting it out. And knowing that ahead of time is absolutely not worth buying at all. So do not look into those years Honda Odyssey vans. You say, Wizard, I found one for $1,000 and it runs. It may not even last 3 months. So is it really worth it? No. Let's move on to the next category. Hope you guys are enjoying the background view. I sure do enjoy my backyard, hearing all the birds and the desert plants. A lot of people think the desert is just flat dirt and there's nothing. But as you can see behind me, it's full of life. Tons of life. I love it out here. Now we're going to move into the category of small or subcompact cars, and the ones to buy are 2007 to 2012 Honda Fit. These cars are everywhere as well. They are very reliable. I've worked on a lot of these cars, just did minor services and things. I rarely get to do major repairs because they're that good. They just keep going. Very good on fuel. The engines are easy to work on. They're just small 4 cylinders. There's no crammed in there V8 or something crazy like that. Parts are plentiful. And this is going to be like a school car for a kid or possibly a work car. You just need to get back and forth to work. And it's not going to cost $30,000 and $40,000 and $80,000. It's going to be dead reliable and you don't have to break the bank. These are very, very good cars. Now in this segment, the one not to buy is 2006 to 2012 Nissan Versa. These are extremely unreliable. And just like I mentioned with the Jeep Patriots having serious issues with CVT transmissions, that's what these have as well. If you can find one with a manual, they may be okay car, but even the rest of the car is not that great. These are built very cheaply, bottom of the barrel. They're usually ratted out and not maintained. They're a cheap car that people drive into the ground. The one that you're probably looking at is near that point, so make sure to keep that in mind. They can have engine issues, but really seriously have transmission issues with the CVTs. And although the parts are plentiful, you're going to be working on it all the time. I know some service companies that use those for their runaround car, like parts runners or things of that nature, and they got rid of them. They're like, we're tired of fixing these things. They break all the time. So those are not a good vehicle in the small or subcompact range. Let's move on to the next category. Now keep in mind, a lot of these I'm recommending are based on engine or transmission issues because those are going to be the big ticket items that when they fail, they're going to break the bank. And just like a human, they can look great on the outside but have serious problems on the inside and can drop dead at any moment as someone who has some serious issues going on. So looks don't always guarantee a good, well-maintained car. The next segment we're going to move into is family cars. Kind of mid-size, maybe large, but you're not looking for a tiny car, but you don't want a minivan. So in that segment, 2006 to 2011 Buick Lucerne. This is a continuation of the Buick LeSabre. The LeSabres are getting old enough and enough miles that I really can't recommend those anymore. But if you get the Lucerne with the 3.8, you get very similar reliability and fuel economy as those old LeSabres that we used to talk about. This is the next generation up from a LeSabre, and the engines are bulletproof. They do have an option on these cars with the North Star. Do not buy those, obviously. Get the one with the 3.8 V6. Easily a 400,000 mile car. You're going to have little things here or there with you know, oil changes, brakes, so you're going to have normal things, but these are very, very good cars. They're good for carrying a small family around. They're good to just a cruiser to go on road trips on. You can even use it as a daily driver if you wanted to. They're not terrible on fuel, and parts are plentiful. The 3.8, there's parts everywhere for these things. But the one I recommend do not buy, 2010 to 2014 Hyundai Sonata. These had engine failures out the you-know-what. I mean, left and right. In fact, I remember quoting an engine for a customer who had an engine failure on their 2012 Sonata, which we actually did a video on. If you want to click the link below, there was a link to it. The dealer said, there are no more engines. This is such a huge problem. We've run out of engines. There are no rebuilders. There's nothing. It's overwhelming. It's so bad. This is a car that multiple times I've had to diagnose a bad engine and watch the customer cry in the waiting room because they don't know what they're going to do next. This engine and this car will hurt you financially. It will reach out and touch your pocketbook in ways that you could never imagine. Run away from these cars. Do not buy them. Let's move on to the next segment. This segment is going to be the small all-wheel drive sport utility vehicle. It's kind of a crossover type thing that you not really want a big boxy SUV, but you don't want a family car. It needs to be all-wheel drive. And in the do-buy segment, 2008 to 2013 Subaru Forester. Now this is after the years of the Subaru head gaskets. Those are the ones you do not buy. Those are going to be like 2002, 3, 4, range 5. Don't buy those. But in 2008 to 13, 14 possibly, they fixed this issue, and these are actually dead reliable cars. They're really, really good. They look nice. They're decent on fuel. They're easy to work on. These have a flat floor, just like the air-cooled Volkswagen Beetle. It's not an inline or a V6 or a V8. It's a flat 4. The engine's flat. Like I mentioned, they did have head gasket issues on those in prior years, but these have been solved. They ride good, they drive good, really reliable, and parts are going to be plentiful for them. Definitely a good little all-wheel drive vehicle you could use in inclement weather. Now let's move on to the one of do not buy. 2006 to 2014 Jeep Compass. Now, it's easy for you guys to say car wizards, it's the same thing as the Patriot. We already know that. But actually, I've found out that most people don't realize that. I actually had a customer buy a Compass and say, "You told us not to buy the Patriot. We thought the Compass would be fine. It has the same problems, though." I'm like, yes, they're the same chassis, the same engine, the same problems. "Well, you didn't say not to buy the Compass." So here I am saying it to you now. Do not buy the Patriot or the Compass. They both have the CVT transmission failure issues. The engines are loud and noisy. They're not good on gas. They're not reliable. They don't last a long time. And just like the Patriot, they're usually ran clear into the ground by the time you are now looking at the vehicle. They're beat up pretty bad. This is not going to be a 400,000 mile vehicle. Probably 150, if that. And by then it could have been on the third transmission. The amount of money you're going to spend to buy one of these, no matter how good of a deal you got, you're going to spend double that fixing everything and making it reliable to be a daily driver. They're almost as bad as the Hyundai Sonata issue. Not that bad, but I definitely cannot recommend buying one of those. They're really, really bad, guys. And a quick little segment on sports cars. We're not going to dive in pretty heavy into those because that's usually a smaller amount of people looking for those. A small little sports car that's really great, even though they're not all that stylish, would be a Mazda Miata. They're almost Toyota reliability. They just don't die. They go and go and go, and they're easy to work on. The opposite of that would be an Audi TT. They're terrible to work on. And after 100,000 miles, they're going to nickel and dime you to death. So just a quick couple little things on a sports car. If you're looking for a little one, that would be great. And with any sports car, definitely check who's owned it, how it's been maintained, how it's been treated, because these cars are usually heavily modded. They've been driven like a bat out of hell. They've been driven very hard. They could be at the end of their life, even though they might look pretty. So make sure to keep that in mind as well. And being that I just talked about an Audi TT, that brings me to the final little bonus piece of advice I'm going to give you guys. Under $10,000, which Euro car should you buy? None. None. Because any Euro car that's gotten to this level in life, third and fourth owner, they are going to destroy your bank account. Absolutely decimate your funds. They will always be broken. Now some people say, well, I've got this Volkswagen, this and that, and it's gone a long time, and blah, blah, blah. That's just a small percentage. If you talk to other owners, you'll find out that they've been constantly in the shop over and over. Mercedes, BMW, Jaguar, Volvo, any of these cars under $10,000. If you want to buy it as an enthusiast car, and if it breaks, it's not a big deal. But as a daily driver, trust me guys, I've gotten emails of people say, I'm looking at this Volvo. Is it going to be a good, reliable car? As a daily driver for my family, it's only $7,000. Hell no. Hell no, it's not. So stay away from any and all Euro cars under $10,000. Now I know you're saying at the screen right now, well, that's what you guys keep buying. Yes, because I can fix the car myself for 80% off. Because I do all the work. I can get the parts wholesale. I can do it myself way cheaper. And I can do it on my own time when I have time. I'm not relying on this car to be my daily driver. Now, if you're a mechanic out there and you can fix your own cars, you may be willing to put up with those. You may be able to find a deal and fix it yourself and maybe save some money. Unfortunately, I found that only 1 out of 10 people can do that though. So it's not very common for someone to be able to make those kinds of repairs themselves. So definitely thanks for tagging along in our desert oasis here in Las Cruces, which we're soon to be moving here, moving the shop, moving the YouTube channel down here. Again, I want to reiterate, we are not closing business. We are not closing the YouTube channel. We never even said that. And there's going to be many, many more videos for you guys to come. If you're curious what kind of tools we use to work in the shop, check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. A lot of the tools we use every day, tried and true, are listed for sale there. And if you purchase any of them, we get a small cut. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button because like I just mentioned, there's many more videos to come for years to come. Thanks for watching.